Just last night, or whatever night. Yeah, it was last night. But then it picked up the camera.
I would say we have a lot of them. We're already good now. Don't have anything really put up in that.
Okay, folks, we're going to start the town board meeting for October 28th. Way able to rise, we'll do the pledge of allegiance. Paula, would you like to lead?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
of
United
the States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we apologize for not having the camera working tonight for those online, but we do have the audio working. We do have two public hearings tonight, one for the town budget and one for the fire contract budget. So we'll have the town clerk read the first legal notice.
Notice hereby given that the preliminary budget of the town of Farmington for the fiscal year 2026 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk at 1000 County Road 8, where it is available for inspection by any interested persons during all regular scheduled office hours. Further notice is given that the town board of the town of Farmington will meet and review said preliminary budget and hold a public hearing thereon at the Farmington Town Hall at 7 p.m. on the 28th of October 2025. At such hearing, any person may be heard in favor of or against the preliminary budget as compiled or for or against any items therein contained. Further, the following is a summary of the entire preliminary budget. Total appropriations, $25,543,586. Less estimated revenue, $18,153,500. Less fund balance / appropriated reserves, $2,940,259. Amount to be raised by taxes, $4,449,827. Further notice is hereby given pursuant to section 108 of the town law. Following are the proposed yearly salaries of town officials of the town of Farmington. Supervisor, including budget officer, $83,480.20. 4 councilmen at $6,843.32. Highway superintendent, $81,861.73. Town clerk, $77,056.46. And 2 town justices, $29,370.77. By order of the town board.
All right, thanks for reading that. And at this time, the public hearing is open for anybody that has any questions or comments on the town budget. Anybody online? Question on the town budget? One more time, anybody here in the room? Questions or concerns about the town budget? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. We'll go on to the next one.
Notice hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Farmington, County, New York, at Farmington Town Hall in the town of Farmington on October 28th, 2025, at 7:01 p.m. for the purpose of determining whether it is in the public interest to enter into new contracts with the Farmington Volunteer Fire Association and Manchester Fire Department, for the purpose of providing fire protection to the Farmington Fire Protection District in said town of Farmington upon the following general terms. 1. The Farmington Volunteer Firemen's Association Incorporated shall furnish fire protection for the north, west, and southwesterly portions, and Manchester Fire Department shall furnish protection for the east and southeasterly portions of the Farmington Fire Protection District. 2. The Farmington Volunteer Firemen's Association shall receive therefore the sum of $1,008,563 during 2026, and Manchester Fire Department shall receive therefore the sum of $72,565 during 2026. 3. Said new contracts with Farmington and Manchester shall be for a 1-year period and shall terminate on December 31st, 2026. This by resolution, town board of town Farmington.
Thank you, Michelle. And then we also support the Sharpsville, called Citizen Homes Fire Company, and they're on a multi-year contract, so they don't renew this year with us. So at this time, any comments or questions on the Farmington or Manchester fire budgets? Anybody online? Comments on the Farmington or Manchester fire budgets? Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearings for those, and we do have resolutions later in the meeting. Next thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes from our last meeting, October 14th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Steve. Any comments, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The same.
At this time, privilege of the floor, public concerns, anybody here in the room? Comments or questions with the town, privilege of the floor? If you do, just state your name and address.
Hi.
Town clerk.
My name's Matt Winchell. I live on Redfern Drive. At the beginning of the year, notice was sent out that the bridge on Woods Road or Woods Drive and 14 would be under construction. Barricades have been up for 5 months, and there hasn't been any work done. And with winter here, just hoping that we could get some sort of an update as to if work is going to be done, or if the barricades are gonna come down for winter, or what the plan is.
Absolutely, thank you for the question. So the project, we worked with Ontario County for the funding, because they were able to get a grant for us. It is federal and state money. So the first phase was soliciting and hiring an engineering firm. That firm is Fisher Associates, which has done other projects for the town and for Ontario County. They did an initial meeting with us, the utility people, the county highway people, and then they did the initial design and got turned in to New York State DOT. Since then, they met the next phase of approval for design, which is, I believe, 90%. They expect by December that they'll have final approval on the design and be able to go out for bid. So with any luck, the award will be January, February, and construction started in March. It'll be done the end of next year.
We did have like a slideshow presentation, and the reason for the bridge being shut down was the current structural integrity of the bridge was an issue, especially on the side that is barricaded. That's why even though it wasn't ready to be built yet, the engineer felt that it was appropriate to immediately limit traffic.
Oh, okay, so there'd be no possibility of opening that up until the bridge is started?
No, and so like the underside of the bridge, on the one side that shut down is worse than the other side. They were able to leave the one side open, but they just felt like it needed to be immediately limited that traffic.
So at Redfern and Running Brook, the new construction, the road put in, there's gonna be townhomes in there. They're hopefully doing Monday and Tuesday, replacing some concrete gutters and sidewalks that we've asked the contractor to have replaced. They're working on the legal description for the road to get to our attorney, so that we can have a resolution to dedicate the road and make it a town road. So the reason it's closed off is that we don't own the road yet, and any liabilities would be against the contractor. So we're hoping that the legal side of it takes a long time also, because it goes back and forth between the two attorneys. And I really don't know where that is right now, but concrete work will be done. And I think either we're still waiting on a bond for the maintenance for the road and sidewalks, and then the legal stuff. We're still hoping to have that road open before the end of the year. When that happens, we're closing the bridge permanently.
So when that road is complete, that goes to the new development, we'll be able to scoot through there and
Yep.
get back to 14?
Yep, it'll be all town road, and it goes out on what is called Clintonshire right now in County Road 41.
Right,
It goes out there. We're also gonna change the name of the road, so.
okay. Thanks.
Yep, no, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Rob. Anybody else? Public concerns or questions? Anybody online? Mr. Drew, anything tonight?
Well, I make myself president so that you don't forget about me, that's all.
Oh, no. Well,
Election coming up, things might change, so
Your town- your town supervisor was here earlier for our Canandaigua Farmington, water district
I
meeting.
know, I saw Terry walking.
Yep. All right, no more privilege of the floor, public concerns, we'll go to standing committees, public works.
Yeah, on the water and sewer side of things, had some discussion this morning, a new generator for PS6. Just regarding sizing. Of that generator, and come to a good conclusion on that. Been working on ongoing pump station maintenance. Mowing and trimming is still going on, they're ending for the season. Working on some priming issues also over on PS6, some pumps there. And bringing in a contractor to help diagnose some of those issues. Still waiting on our asphalt contractor for the ceiling that we've approved. Still hoping they can get that done this fall, weather permitting. Worked on issue on the east final clarifier. We actually have a resolution on tonight to award some parts to be fabricated by a local fabricator to repair that. Had a power outage on October 19th that always wreaks havoc with a lot of the pump stations. Staff was in, got everything back up and going. Did have it cause one issue over at PS2, where it burned up a motor because of the power outage. They've been working on disassembling some old equipment at the plant. Pulling out some motors and drives that hopefully be possibly sold at the spring auction. And it's equipment that's no longer used or hasn't been used for years. And also will clear up some space over there at the wastewater treatment plant. Waiting on New York Fence to repair gate issue over there. And also had some discussion on some electrical repairs that are ongoing with Plant Tech Services for some heaters and pump stations. And influent building motor and louvers. Hydro testing has been performed by Ontario Tap, a third-party company over at Terrace Apartments, which is something we've been waiting on for a while. And they've also been busy over in the Farmbrook area. The sewer main repair on Creekwood, and also with a bunch of tie-ins on Cranberry. Having to do with road construction and water main construction over there. Dealt with a couple sewer odor complaints. Do have some smoke testing scheduled to investigate one of those. In Victor next week. And we've been using our new valve turner over in the Mountain Ash area, doing some valve exercising. And they continue to do training on their new iWork software. As time permits with that. Aaron, I'll let you maybe talk about the particular tank progress in your report, but that continues and is moving along nicely. On the highway and park side, as crops have been coming off the fields, they've been getting out in the fields. Been mowing drainage ditches where they can. Road sweeper has been out, had to repair a sign on Hook Road due to a motor vehicle accident. Also did some driveway and shoulder repair over on Fox Road. Cutting trees on Payne Road, a lot of dead ash trees as time permits. And they've been breaking up a lot of the old gutters that they've been receiving again from the Cranberry Road project. Getting ready for winter, we have plow frames on, wings. So they're ready to go when the snow does fly. And also just been doing some general housekeeping over at the highway garage. And the parks, still ongoing mowing, grooming ball fields, which should be wrapping up pretty soon with sports winding down. Working on the playground over at Farmington Grove. Fall cleanup was last weekend. They were busy with that and also had some discussion on it, but they're gonna start closing up and winterizing park bathrooms. Ones that don't have heat in it, getting those closed up for the season. And he's got one resolution on tonight, but we can talk about that. We need to. So,
Great, thank you. Town operations.
Operation this morning. We did have two resolutions of the building department, so the budgets come in. Morning. continue to work on some code amendments. We'll be looking at, draft local law for changes to, chapter 144 land subdivision and 165 zoning law. To start the process to change those. The Farmington Meadows incentive zoning, they're on the southeast corner of 332 and 41. We received, updated concept of that today. So we'll take the next couple weeks and address that potentially at the November 12th meeting, to look over that plan. We did have a company reach out, inquiring about putting a 190 feet,
195.
195 foot tall pole in the middle of a residential neighborhood for a cell tower, like a signal booster. And I think we thought maybe that wasn't the best idea, the best location for it. So if you have Verizon, we're gonna try and increase the coverage in the town, but maybe find a more suitable location for that pole. The Fish Solar Farm, no update on that. They have not submitted any of the request material to the planning board. The neighbors have been asking about it, but we haven't gotten anything more about that potential project. Next meeting is November 6th at 9 AM to discuss ongoing upcoming projects. Ag Advisory Committee meeting, they did meet last Thursday. Nothing scheduled this time. I know they'll be getting pretty busy. Harvesting here, corn comes down, some places come down now, but their next meeting, that they don't have a schedule yet. Everything else will be on the website. Planning board has their update, and the Environmental Conservation Board is doing their final edit of the open space index. I think Ron just received a draft of that and just looking over that, and we'll have it for the November 12th town board meeting.
All right, thanks, Dave. Reports of other town officials, supervisor. If you have a copy of the agenda, it says New York State Pollution Prevention Institute, RIT Galveston Institute of Sustainability. So just wanted to read information on the New York State Pollution Prevention Institute. It's led by the Galveston Institute for Sustainability at Institute Technology. It's also in partnership with Clarkson University, St. Rensselaer Polytech Institute, SUNY Binghamton, Cornell University, and New York State Manufacturer Extension Partnership. The mission of New York State Pollution Prevention is to make New York more sustainable for workers, the public, and the environment and the economy through reductions in toxic chemical use, efficient use of raw materials, energy, and water, reductions in emissions of the environment, and waste generation. The integrated program has several major elements: technology, research, development, and diffusion. Also, they have a mission for outreach. They train professionals. There's an offer community grant program and academic educational programs. And why do I mention that? Farmington is going to be a test site for our sludge in the sewer plant. Right now, the sludge goes to the Ontario County landfill. I forget how many tons, around $200,000 a year it costs us in landfill. So we're gonna work with a couple of professors and with MRB, a couple of professors, RIT. We're gonna give them sludge samples at different times of the year. They'll test them, they'll look for PFAS, PFOA, also look for metals contents in the sludge. And then further is they want to evaluate the sludge and different processes for biosolids. They want to, whatever processes they do in the biosolids, and they'll also look at, is the products, is it economical to do one way or the other? One of the companies was making cinder blocks out of the sludge by raising it to a high temperature and forming cinder blocks. They mentioned today, I think, possibility of drywall. So we're glad to be part of this. And hopefully there'll be ways that our sludge can be used in the future with Ontario County landfill closing in 2028. So and we're also talking with Wayne County, their new treatment plant in Palmyra will have some capacity in the short term that we can send them some of our sludge there also. But that's still under discussion, so. That's why I wanted to bring that up. It's something we're looking forward to, and hopefully they can figure out a way to use sludge, because every community produces it. It's a lot of it. Yeah, there's a lot of sludge when you know. So that's it. Highway and Parks.
We had, sent a couple of pieces of equipment up to the Monroe County auction. Up in, Rochester, up by the airport. We sent our John Deere tractor up there, our roadside mower. We got $36,000 for that. And we also sent our 1994 grader up there. And we got 13,000 for that. So we got a total of 49,000. I didn't think it was too bad. Yeah, so that went well. We had our fall cleanup on October 17th and 18th. 374 households used it. We've got like 79 Freon units, which, first one's free, the second one costs. Tires we charge for 60 tires. Electronics were way down. We didn't get a whole lot of electronics. There's only like maybe 4 bins that we took out of there. So they must be making TVs better or something.
Well, the other thing was the county had a big electronics truck.
Okay, maybe that.
A month or two before us.
Yeah, that may have helped it. We had shredding on Saturday. 93 people took advantage of the shredding. And as for the money that we charged for the Freon, the tires, we took in $420 in revenue on that. We received the other day one of our new pickup trucks came in. Last pickup truck to replace truck 26. So I'm gonna try, I think Teetsworth has an online auction that we might be able to get that truck in on that and get that sold.
Okay.
And then the park said that they have completed the playground up in Farmington Grove, so that's ready for the kids.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's the last playground for a while. Quite a bit.
It's true. Counselor?
Not much, just want to let everybody know that, Tina will be back on Sunday.
Aaron, water and sewer.
Yeah, several things to add to Steve's summary. Steve mentioned we're having some parts fabricated locally to repair final clarifiers at the wastewater treatment plant. I think it's important to point out that this represent about a 60% cost savings versus buying the parts from the OEM manufacturer. Same quality, just fabricated locally, and a significant savings to the town. We have been up in Farm Brook quite a bit lately for the tie-ins at Cranberry Drive. The water main is done and is active. We were also in there again on Sunday on Clover Meadow for a water main break in the morning. We've finished our work that we've been working on and reporting here at the meetings for the last couple over at PS 33. That was finished up by installing some new check and plug valves, and that station has been fully overhauled. The latest power outage, as Steve mentioned, did wreak some havoc with a couple of our pump stations. The motor that Steve mentioned was replaced today, and that pump is back in service. We've been coordinating with the town of Victor and their engineer. We oversee their sewer system for the reconstruction of our PS 19, which is at Eastview Mall. The brickyard tank finally was filled last night about 6 o'clock. I was there today to collect the first of a couple of rounds of samples to get the tank certified to put online. We will have a contractor coming in to install tank mixing and the disinfection byproducts removal system starting next Monday. It is anticipated that we could get approval to put the tank online into the system sometime late November. After that, demolition of the existing tank will commence sometime in the winter. Likely that'll spill over into 2026. I have crews out and about in the community. If any of you are out and about flushing fire hydrants, it's a coordinated event with the city of Canandaigua and all of our concurrent systems. So if you see a fire hydrant that is open and doesn't have somebody necessarily there manning it, it's on purpose. No need to call 911. We received a number of calls this morning about flushing. It's a single crew and they're flushing multiple hydrants at one time. So they are aware of it. It is open. We appreciate the calls, but this is a planned event. We're working with the Department of Environmental Conservation at our wastewater plant to approve a different chemical for removal of nutrients at the plant. This would also represent a large cost savings in chemical usage and also drastically improved efficiency as part of the process. So I've got to add.
Thank you. Building and zoning, Paula.
Building doesn't have a report tonight.
Okay. Didn't know if they said anything or not. Thank you. Planning board, Ed.
Certainly, we have a couple continued public hearings. Adrian Bellis's final site plan amendment and the Crossborough Enterprises preliminary site plan approval. We have a new public hearing for a special use permit on Sheldon Road to determine it to be complete. It's for a kennel operation. And then other board operations or actions, we have requests for a 180-day extension for the paddock landing. I assume it has to do with their power. So, got another 180-day. That's it.
Thanks, Ed.
Yep.
Ron, Director of Planning and Development.
Yeah, the town operations report was posted today. In the report, you'll see the design change for the Farmington Meadows subdivision. Bring everybody's attention to the fact that it's been posted in the foyer out here. Take a look at it on your way in and out the next 2 weeks. Some of the changes include a commitment on their part to install sidewalks along the south side of County Road 41 between the intersection of 41 and 332 and the project. Other changes are internal to the site, a few road changes, some additional single-family homes, things of that nature. But please take a look at it and let us know of any concerns that you may have. Other than that, we do have a PRC meeting next Thursday. We will be reviewing that Farmington Meadows project. We'll also be taking a look at a site for a new bank. We have a bank that's expressed interest in coming to town, so we'll be looking into that as well. That's pretty much it for now.
All right, thanks, Ron. One engineer, Bill.
Yes, I think most things been reported on. We will be providing a town a proposal for the next phase of County Road 8 water main. Ongoing with the Farmington Fire Department project as well. And Cranberry Drive pretty much is done with water and most of the storm, so we'll be moving on to the road section of that project. So that's all that I got to add right now.
All right, great. See, they're pouring concrete. Gutters, right? And Kirby?
Or in the gutters, apparently, Rosselli's concrete plant broke down this morning at 8:40.
Oh,
Yeah. Did not help the situation. But they did get it up and going this afternoon. I'm assuming they got some more poured. But they're hoping to finish that all up by tomorrow. And all the gutters in.
yeah.
On the They said they'll probably start boxing out the road because of the rain coming in on Thursday and Friday, that they're gonna hold off and start boxing the road out on Monday.
Very good. Nothing tonight from the assessor, historian, just want to let the town board know. That Donna did come in today and give me her resignation as the town historian. Effective 30 April, so we've got 6 months to get out there and advertise and see if somebody else is interested in being the town historian. She's been doing that for 13 years. As the historian, but she was doing it years before helping Margaret also. Nothing on the recreation tonight, nothing else. Pardon?
We did.
Well, I'd say
He was a dance.
it wasn't there. It's a past event, so it just,
I was today and we had about 150 kids.
and the walk.
Great.
Something walk.
Walk, that was
Nice.
the pending also.
Had a side item on.
If you don't tell me, I don't put it on my notes. Again, nothing from agricultural committee, finance, yeah, I just wanted to talk two things. At 6:15 tonight, we have the annual Canandaigua Farmington Water District Water Meeting. That's the town of Canandaigua was invited, town of Hopewell and our town board. And, it's like a 15-20 minute meeting, because we forward the budget to them a couple months ahead of time. And then we passed the budget. Of course, we talked a little bit after that, so. The other thing with the town budget is, Michelle had mentioned, again, it has not changed numbers wise from the preliminary budget, so. The tax rate is still gonna go down, a little over 28%. From 68 cents a thousand to 49 cents a thousand to the town and highway general tax rate. And that's the fourth year in a row that we've been able to lower the town tax rate. It's always good when we can do that. The ambulance corps, we also fund them again this year, a little over 350,000. Also, now, we approve the budget later tonight, and then I'll release our 5-year capital plan program, put that up on the website also for everybody to see. That capital improvements is the vehicles in the different departments and our buildings and grounds, future projects between now and 2030. You know, it's their estimates. When we want to try and fund things and do the work. That's what we got done. Communications are on file. Reports in minutes are on file. And next be resolutions. First resolution is authorizing the town supervisor to sign engagement letter with legal services with Sheldon Boyce Law, PLFC.
So move.
Which we might, second my name, we've done business over the years with Sheldon. It was Brenner and Boyce, and now he's changed the name of the firm, so that's the reason for re-engagement on an authorization letter. Any comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Second is the resolution adopting the town budget. So
Second.
motion by Steve, second by Ron. In the resolution, again, we talked about the decrease of the tax rate by 28.24%. Or 49.2 cents per thousand. And New York State property tax cap is over the budget by $417,709. Any other comments or questions about it? We have a motion in a second, right? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 26 budget is paid. Three is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign the Farmington fire contract for 2026.
So move. Second.
Motion by Ron, second by Mike. Again, mentioned earlier in the public notice, this year's amount is $1,008,000, $563. We make the other payments, three payments during the year. February 1st, May 1st, and September 1st. And that's to help them with the new fire building station to get that project off the ground. Any comments, questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next one is resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign the Manchester fire contract for 2026. So
Second.
motion by
Steve.
Dave and second by Dave.
Eight.
Yeah. And again, that one is for $72,565. Any comments or questions there? Because that's a smaller amount, we make two payments for that, February 1st and August 1st. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Vice resolution recalling and rescinding resolution number 268, 2025, authorizing the First Amendment to the equipment agreement in town of Vector.
So move.
Again, so this resolution is doing away with the previous resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Six, a confirming resolution authorizing the Hardy Park Superintendent to pay for the Washington ball mix used at the Farmington Grove fields at a cost not to exceed $19,000. So.
Second.
Motion by Nate, second by Mike. And that was our contribution with Victor Little League, making the improvements to the two fields at Grove Park. They hired the contractor, did all the work. We just paid for the ball mix. They're done. Yeah. All field backgrounds, the fence still coming for the
backstops.
Any questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Seven is resolution authorizing the water and sewer superintendent to purchase skimmer assemblies for the north final clarifiers for Mid Lakes welding and fabrication. Cost not to exceed $6,100. So.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Ron. And again, Aaron had mentioned that earlier tonight. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 8 is being pulled. We received another quote, so we're gonna study that and then bring it up at the next meeting. Number 9, resolution authorizing the budget amendments and several of the funds.
Second.
Motion by Nate, second by Mike. Again, this time of year, we're always moving money to make sure we can still pay the bills. Lighting contractor, highway, parks, personnel overtime, general repairs, some lighting districts, and in the sewer side, some testing, future testing. All in favor?
Aye.
And is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign an intermunicipal agreement for temporary sharing of construction inspectors with the town of Hickory. So moved.
Second.
Which my Steve, second by Mike. And that's to share our grader. And there also is an IMA, previous IMA with the road widener. So this puts it all into one IMA. All in favor?
Aye.
Right, number 11, resolution authorizing the hiring of a fire marshal and or a code enforcement officer.
So moved.
Motion by Mike, second by Ron. With Augie Gardner resigning, he's going to be in the New York State Police Academy starting very soon. And so we'll advertise hopefully for the fire marshal position. And if we don't get anybody there, then we'll look for somebody clean officer. And that rate is anywhere from $26 to $29 an hour to start. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 12 is confirming resolution authorizing wage increase for the building department head, code enforcement officer Dan Del Torre, effective yesterday, October 27, 2021.
25.
Only 25, say, yeah, one, break that, 25. Second. With my date, second by Steve, and again, you don't have the resolution in front of you, but I just gotta make one correction in the first whereas, it's supposed to say 2025, not 2026. Any questions there? All in favor? Aye. 13th resolution authorizing the council supervisor to sign an engineering amendment for the Cranberry Drive reconstruction project.
Second.
With my Steve, second by Mike. We need a little bit more money in engineering line for the water line and the highway fund. We needed to move money from our capital project line into the project, into this particular project. We will pay the remainder of the bills. Any questions on that? All in favor? Aye. 14 is abstract 20 to pay the bills. General fund, $117,159.23. Highway fund, $228,121.48. Cranberry Water Drive Water Line Project, $309,045.80. Cranberry Drive Road Project, $67,919.12. Route 33296 water line, $11,760. Water tank repair, $436, $432.14. Storm drains, $2,757.78. Lake District, $3,298.07. Sidewalks, $56.85. Storage District, $114,759.30. Water District, $25,188.14. Payroll deductions of $9,371.14. Total abstract to pay the bill, $1,325,869.05.
So moved.
Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Any questions, any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passed. We have no trading under 100, right? No other items for discussion, no executive session. At this time, is anybody online or in the room? Public concerns or questions that might have followed? All right. Our next board meeting, because of Veterans Day, our next board meeting is on Wednesday, November 12th. Move for a motion with that.
Then just as we discussed before, we'll do public works the morning of the 12th, unless you guys want to work anything out.
No, not really, no.
So
I mean, it happens pretty commonly with water main breaks, but yeah, let's try to
we'll
avoid
just
that.
do public works on the 12th then, so.
And I did mention the town board, I'm on vacation that week, so I won't be at the meeting. Mike, you move?
No, I was just thinking about, I don't know, town ops Wednesday morning is not. Just want to change it in the afternoon. It's up to you, figure it out.
That work. All right.
All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you, everybody.